Hey guys, welcome back to Chocolate Covered Pages. I'm Kiona and today I'm going to be doing the mid-year freakout tag. But before I get into the video, let's get into today's sponsor. And that is going to be The Hottest Summer Ever by Elijah R. Freeman. This book is about Kush, who grows up as a spoiled daddy's girl. But one day her world gets turned upside down when he is brutally murdered. Left in the hands of her negligent mother, Kush is forced to commit murder to protect herself. She then gets sent to a detention center where she meets a guy named Red, and together they create their own little crew and begin robbing drug dealers. Eventually, their enemies begin to retaliate. As bodies begin to drop left and right, Kush is left trying to figure out who's a friend and who is a foe. Thank you so much to Elijah R. Freeman for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get into it. The first question is, what's the best book that you've read in 2021? And I am definitely going to go with Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is an adult fantasy novel and it reminds me of The Godfather, Goodfellas, but it has some fantasy elements because in this world, Jade is what pretty much heightens your senses. It makes you much faster if you can get your hands on it, but the only thing is not everyone is supposed to have jade in their body. You need to be born from a certain clan in order for your body to be okay with taking in jade. But we always want what we can have, so of course, you know, we got some thieves out here. There's these two clans that have their own separate territories, and they have been working together. They have been coexisting. Let me not say working together now. They have been coexisting for a while, and suddenly one of the clans has decided, you know what? I think it should only be one. So you know there's a lot of drama. It is so action-packed. Like when I read this, you can see how long this book is, but you really don't even notice it because the plot is constantly moving. Like I really enjoyed this book. The next question is the best sequel that you've read in 2021, and I am gonna have to go with Butterfly 3 by my girl Ashley Antoinette. If you've been follow my channel for a little while, you know that I loved her Ethics series, and once you finish reading all 6 books in the Ethics series, then you can then go on to Butterfly 1, 2, and 3. And this year I read Butterfly 1, 2, and 3, and oh my gosh, Butterfly 2 and 3, crazy. I cannot wait for Butterfly 4 to come out. It should be soon because I have been stalking Ashley Antoinette's page, okay, and she said that it was going to her editor for the final edits, and then once that's all good, then it was going to be getting printed. I cannot wait. I'm very excited. The next question is a new release that you haven't gotten to, and I can't just pick one, so here we go. Definitely Blood Like Magic by Lascelles Sambury. Also Ace of Spades by Farida Abiki Iyamade. I actually started reading this already because I can't wait. So look out for something about this book soon. Also The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I like The Silent Patient, which was his first book. It was a little boring in the middle, but the end definitely saved the book for me. But I've heard that this one is just like really good all the way through. It has really good reviews, so I'm excited to pick up this one. Also 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. The next question is your biggest disappointment, and unfortunately I am gonna have to go with The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Dalila Harris. This just did not give what it was supposed to have gave. Not for me anyway. This is one of those books that has gotten a lot of mixed reviews, so I think it really depends on what you were hoping to get out of it. This book has been marketed as The Devil Wears Prada meets Get Out. No. That is not what this is. I mean, I will say that it is like satire, but I was not getting Get Out from this at all. To me, and I will touch on, and I will get more in depth about this in a future video, but this book to me, it had me at first like, okay, you know, I can really relate and stuff like that. But then it took a turn. It took a turn for the worse, where I closed the book thinking to myself, now who was this written for? Because I don't feel like this was written for me at all. Let that sink in. The next question is, what book was your biggest surprise? And I'm going to go with First Become Ashes by K.M. Sapara. And the reason why I say that this is a surprise is because I had to DNF this baby, and I was not expecting that at all. I really loved Docile by K.M. Sapara, and that was their debut novel, and I loved it. This, it don't even seem like it was written by the same person, to be honest with you. Or maybe they were feeling like, you know what, let me get a little risky. You know, I like the premise of this book sounded really good to me. It's kind of like, I don't know if I would call this dystopian, kind of dystopian, where it's kind of like cultish, like this cult pretty much, where they follow this person, and this person has them all believing that all the men need to wear cages on their penis, in case you don't know what a cage is. And so I was intrigued about that. I was like, oh, okay, yes, this is exciting, this is what I like to see. But it just felt very silly after a while. Like, it was giving me silly. It wasn't giving me like, oh yeah, this is serious stuff, like this is interesting. Like, no, it was starting to remind me of Supermarket by Bobby Hall and aka Logic. And if you watch that video, Books That Waste My Time, you already know how I feel about that book. So I had to DNF this because I just couldn't take it anymore. The next question is favorite new author, and this could be a debut author or an author that's new to you. And I am definitely going to go with Fonda Lee, who was the author of Jade City. I did not know. I had no idea that she could really write a book like that, and it makes me very excited to get into the rest of the series and to see what else she writes. The next question is a book that made you cry, and I am going to, first of all, I do not cry from books very often. I'm not going to say that I don't at all, because I'm a thug, but this year only one book has made me cry, and that's going to be Chlorine Sky by Mahogany L. Browne. This is a YA contemporary. It's written in verse. Mahogany L. Browne, if you don't know, is a bomb-ass poet, and I knew going into it that it wasn't going to be no regular story. Like, every time an actual poet writes a book in verse, it always slaps all the time. Elizabeth Acevedo, Jacqueline Woodson, like, I'm telling you, anytime they write a book in verse, it's gonna hit. Anyway, this book definitely made me cry, not because it was sad, it had a lot of sad moments, but because it like the main character, Sky, reminded me of myself as a teenager, and that really hit hard for me, especially when I got to the end. I was like, I wasn't expecting that. The next question is the most beautiful book that you bought or received, and I'm definitely going to have to go with Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. This book, just look at this, right? And then look at the pages. I mean, I don't even know if you could fully see like how beautiful it is. Look there, and then it goes into here, and then it goes all the way around. I mean, the detailing, it's the detailing on the pages for me, because I was not expecting this at all. I was like, wow, they really spent some coin to put this book together. It's very beautiful. The next question is new fictional crush. My fictional crush is definitely going to be Amik Harris from the Butterfly series. Like, yes, like I was listening to that audio book and I was just like, okay, Amik, like, he was a take charge type of dude, but knowing to pull it back a little bit, but lay his cards on the table. He not playing no games with you. He's super swaggy, and I'm just like, yeah, that's what I like. I like characters that's like swaggy about their grown man shit. Like, I love that. That is super sexy to me. The next question is new favorite character, and I'm gonna have to go with Kaya from Naughty Girl by Deep. It was recommended to me by Shades and Pages on Instagram, and because she's into black romance, and she was like, oh, you should definitely pick this book up. And I picked it up, and y'all, this character, Kaya or Kia, I don't know, but I like her because, yes, there are some taboo type of themes in the book, you know, age gap romance, you know, things like that. But I like age gap romance. I like taboo type of romances. Where people that's really not even supposed to be together. Well, society says that they shouldn't be together, but I mean, it's hot. I mean, I'm reading it. She was just unapologetically herself. She was in her early 20s. She's being safe, but she's still like doing what she wants to do sexually. She's not fully tied down to anybody, so sis was out here having fun, and I'm just like, more power to you. Yes, I love to see it. I most definitely love to read about it. The next question is a book that made you happy, and again, I'm going to go with Chlorine Sky by Mahogany L. Browne. It just made me happy because when I was a teenager, I did not have books where I felt very seen. And I'm happy that this book is out for young girls to read about and really connect with. The next question is, what books do you still need to read by the end of the year? First, I definitely want to read The Savage Detectives by Robert Bolaño because, I mean, I have been dying to get into his work for a very, very long time. And I think this year is the year that I finally do it. I also want to read The Old Drift by Namwali Serpell. Hope I pronounced that right. I also want to read this chunker of a book, The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois by Honoré Fanon Jeffers. This comes out in July, and I really want to get to it, or at least halfway to it by the time July gets here. But this has been getting really, really good reviews. I also want to read Wizard of the Crow by Ngugi wa Thiong'o. I have been dying to get into his work as well. I have been collecting his books for years, and I have not read not one. I also want to read the Inheritance trilogy by my girl N.K. Jemisin. Look, this damn thing is so big, I can't even hold it really. All 3 books of the series is inside of this, so I definitely want to get to this book. And I also think I heard that it's supposed to be getting turned into either a TV series or a movie series. Whatever, either way, I definitely want to get to it before that comes out. I also want to read The Wolf of Oroñaro by K.S. Veloso. This series, I think this series is called the Queen Bitch series. I think so, but I like it. and it's been getting crazy reviews, meaning really, really good. So, you know, more fantasy in my life because I can't help it. I also want to read Waiting for the Waters to Rise by Maurice Kondi. And as you can see, I've already been reading it. This comes out in August. And I really love Itatuba, Black Witch of Salem by Maurice Kondi. So I'm excited to see what new work she has for us. I also want to read Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray. This comes out in September, but I will definitely be getting to it before September. I mean, look at this cover. It's freaking beautiful. I also want to read Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. This cover is gorgeous. Fantasy, of course, as you can see. Yeah, that's all I need to know. I'm sorry. That's pretty much it. I also want to read The Dragons, the Giant, the Women, a memoir by Way Too More. And this book has been getting glowing reviews. So I've been noticing with my nonfiction that I tend to pick up memoirs and autobiographies before every other kind of nonfiction. So I do have high hopes that I'm gonna get to this one. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you are still subscribed to me at this point, even though I had a little hiatus, I love you. If you're not subscribed to me, definitely do so because I got some things coming up. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, shoot me a comment, and let me know if you've read any of the books that I'm looking forward to for the rest of the year. Let's talk about it. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.